Hey guys, Tegan here from BlueSense Digital. Is there a way to easily compare how your pricing compares to competitors on Google Ads without having to manually go through the shopping results and manually compare all of those prices? And there is. So there's an awesome feature in the Merchant Center, which I'm going to go through now. So first, obviously head into the Merchant Center. You'll land on the overview page, go to the growth tab over here and go to price competitiveness. Now, this feature is only available for brands that sell the same products, and how Google matches these products with other brands selling the same product is through the GTIN value of the product, or the barcode value, which is essentially the product identifier or the product ID number. So if you're a brand selling custom products or products that don't have a GTIN value, then obviously this feature in the Merchant Center wouldn't work for you, because those GTIN values of your products either wouldn't exist, or number two, wouldn't match or other retailers selling those same products with the same GTIN value. So that's just one thing to be mindful of here. So this is obviously the section. It'll give you a brief overview of everything here. Obviously you can come look through this in your own time, but what we want to get into is the actual product data. So from overview, head over to products. And then from here, we can choose our date range that we want to analyze. So let's say we wanted to analyze since the beginning of October last year to today, which is the 18th of March. Or sorry, it's not the 18th of March today, but this is the most latest date that we can access. So we'll take that amount of data, and obviously that will accumulate and benchmark all of these different prices. So the first thing to note is that you can download this as a CSV file, which I'll do in just a second, just to show you how that looks, because that is the easiest way of breaking that down. But just as a brief introduction to this, as you can see, it'll break it down by various aspects. So country, clicks, your price versus the benchmark price, and then the percentage difference. So as you can see here, this product up at the top here has got 355 clicks. Our price is $80. The benchmark price is $65. So we are priced 21% higher than the average for this specific product based on this product's GTIN value. And it's a good way to just see how competitive you are in the industry. So let's say, for example, we were interested in products that, let's say we were 2% underpriced on this. So our product price is $279. The average product price is $286. So let's say, for example, we were 15% underpriced compared to the average brand on the market. We could then potentially increase our prices without sales necessarily dropping off, given that we were so low so far below that benchmark price. And it's a good way just to keep your prices in line with the rest of the industry. So following on from that, obviously that's a brief overview. To look at this in more detail, download that CSV file, then drag that into Google Drive and open that as a Google Sheet. So once it's populated in there, just open that as a Google Sheet, and this will give us a lot more maneuverability in terms of this data. So as you can see here is all of the data. So we've got the title, the item ID, the brand, the country, the number of clicks, our price, and then the benchmark price, and then the difference between those two. So just to clean this up a little bit, this is often a good sheet to share with the client every now and then. Just more as an FYI for the client. So let's just clean this up a little bit. We can delete those columns. So once we've cleaned that up, let's just move this out so we can clearly see what's going on here. And we can actually remove brand for now. Or actually, I'll leave brand here, because this does come in handy a bit later. I'll move item ID to this side. Now, just a quick one. We can highlight those two columns, unselect that, and then change this format to AUD just as a reference. And then from a percentage perspective, highlight this column, and then we can change that to a %. And then we'll just remove those decimals. Then from here, a cool feature that you can do as well, more from a client aspect perspective, when sending all of this data to the client, is if you highlight that list and you go up to data, then you go to format and you go conditional formatting, you get an option here where you can color different cells based on their value. So we've got the first rule here. We're going to need to add 2 rules. So we can add another rule here. Actually, we won't add that just yet. We'll cancel that. So we've obviously selected our range, which is G2 to G2 to G1000. Then we'll select our condition. So if that number is greater than 0, color that cell green. And then we'll add another rule that says within that range, if the cell is less than, it'll be the other way around. So let's just get out of here for a second. Cancel that. So if the value is, if this percentage is greater than 0, we're going to color that red. And then, so done, add another rule. If the value is less than 0, or less than, let's actually say less than or equal to 0, we will color that green. So now as you can see here, for all the prices that we are underpriced, they get colored as green. For all the prices that were overpriced, they get colored as red. And then you can clearly see, where everything's sitting in the whole process. Then let's say, for example, we wanted to break it down by brand. So we could highlight this column, go into data, sort sheet, sort column Z to A, and that'll break it down by brand. So for example, that brand there, we've got a couple of underpriced products, but most are overpriced. For this brand here, all of those are overpriced. For this brand here, we've got a couple overpriced, couple underpriced. And you can start seeing, where pricing adjustments need to be made, either from a brand perspective or from a product perspective. And it just is a good way to compare all of this data with industry benchmarks to give yourself a bit of a feel for where you sit in the marketplace. Then just one last thing to mention is that all of this data will only be available for those products that have GTIN values added into the Merchant Center. So if you haven't added your GTIN values into the Merchant Center, you will need to do that before this feature will become available to you in the Merchant Center. And then just as a reference, what is a GTIN value? It's the number that appears below the barcode on the product or the product ID number. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully that was a help. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed this, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.